Okay, I think we should start. So there are a lot of materials today, so I'm not going to wait. Okay, so this is lecture 2. Last time we have introduced data type, okay, and also how computers save information, right? So this time we will talk about some simple stuff, elementary stuff, methods and functions. So first of all, before we introduce methods and functions, we would like to talk about a very special data type. So here we have 3 types here, right? List, tuple, and dictionary. So all of them are aiming to save more than one value of information, okay? And they have different properties. So for example, if you want to save like the temperature of these 3 cities, temperature 1, 2, and 3, right? 3 different temperatures. If you don't have a special type, data type here, you will need 3 different variables, right? But with the help of list, so this is what we call a list. There's a middle bracket here, right? And you have 10 numbers, okay? And you can use the list to save 10 values of temperatures. This is an example. Okay, and they're separated by, they're separated by comma in here. Remember that, okay? Okay, so how do we recognize each of them? We need to use index. Okay, so there are 10 values in here. By 10 values, we here 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The green boxes, they're showing the 10 values. And of course, we don't want to do like a sequential search, right? If you want to look for the number 5, index number 5 for the city 27.5 degree, you don't want to go through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You want to read this as quickly as possible. So how do you do it? You do it with the index. Okay, you know which index that you are looking for, the 6th value in here, which is number 5. So the index starts with 0 and ends with n-1. So you have 10 values, which means that it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9, all the way to 9. 9 is your last number, which is the 10th value in here. Okay, so pretty easy. Okay, here is how you put it in your program, So this is wrong, right? This is small t, this is large T. It's not the same, right? We talked about this. It's case sensitive in Python. So I have to turn this into either this is small t or turn this back to large T. Okay. So if you want to read the first value, 10, and then the bracket 0. Okay, and 1 and all the way to 9. Pretty easy. Okay, a pair of brackets. Okay. So next is how you can retrieve more than one value. How do you do it? So so you have a mean temperature in here, which is with 10 values. Okay, the same list. And you print. So index 3 is which number? Here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 24.9. That's why you're printing this. So whenever you put 3 in your index, it means it's the 4th number, right? Index 3 is the 4th number. Okay, what about this one? Mean temp 2 to 7. 2 is the starting index. So 0, 1, 2. And in Python, if you use slice notation like this, 7 is not included. The last one is not included. It means, so this means 2 to 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are retrieving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So that's why you're printing here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. 27.5 to 25.6. Okay, it's really easy. So I've put a cross in here to indicate that 7 is not included. Remember that. This is very specific to Python. It's not the same for Fortran, actually. Okay, so now we have the first you reply quiz in here. So we still have the same 10 values stored in this min temp list. So the first one, you have already seen this, right? 24.9, which is the fourth value, 2 to 7, which is the index 2 to 6. So the third one here, 2 colon and then nothing. What does it mean? It means that it gets the elements from index 2 all the way to the last one. Okay, it's pretty easy. If you don't indicate that, it means that it's all the way to that direction. Okay, and nothing here, and then colon, and then 7. It means that it's starting from the first index. Okay, because you're not indicating that, it means that it will start from the beginning. Okay, and of course, the last one, it gets all the elements. Okay, so because you're not telling a computer which one you want to start with and which one you want to end with. Okay, so my question to you is for the 2, right? 2 to nothing and then nothing to 7. What would be the answer? Okay, I have you reply the first question. Okay, there are only two. There are only two options for you, A and B. Okay, which one? Okay, I assume all of you have tried. Okay. Anyone still needs more time? Okay. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. So we're starting with 27.5, which is B. Okay. Oh, there's a second question. Sorry about that. Second question. Okay. So this one is printing min temp nothing colon 7. So which one is the answer here? two answers are exactly the same except for the last one. Okay, I'll give you 10 more seconds. Okay. Okay, what would be the answer? The answer would be yes, 8. Okay, because 7 is not included. So from 0 to 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last one is 25.6, right? And there's one, so this one is wrong because 7 is not included, right? So B is wrong. Okay. So of course, I don't have to give you the answers, right? The last one is just all of them. Okay, so next is negative index. So there's no, why is there a negative index? So how do we read the negative index? Okay, first of all, we start with what we have already known, right? We have already learned about this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 9. So if you want to look for the -1 index, what would be the number? So it's just like connecting your, it's like connecting your end to the beginning. So if you look for -1, it would be your last number. Okay, -1, -2. So if you look for numbers on your left-hand side, there's nothing, right? But in Python, you can use negative index to look for different things. So here I have a question to you. So if we want to print -5 to nothing, what would be the answer? Okay, the answer would be here, -5. Oh, let me move this. So -5, 27.5, all the way to the end. Don't do it one more time, all the way to the end, which is 27.1. So -5 to nothing would be these 5 numbers. Okay. So -5 to nothing would be exactly the same as 5 colon nothing. Okay. Because you're looking for the same numbers, these 5 numbers. So they have the index 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is exactly giving you the same result when you use -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Okay. So they have 27.5 have 2 indices in here. Okay. That's what it means. Okay. So why do we need negative index? Because the Earth is a sphere. So if your data, so this is an actual example. This is what I've been working on when I was a graduate student. If you're given data looking like this, so starting from the 180 degree in the middle of the Central Pacific, so the index is 0, and all the way to, again, the Central Pacific, 359. Let's say you have data in per 1 degree resolution. Okay, so this is how the Americans look at the world, right? So how do we look at the data for the Pacific? You have to go back and forth, right? You have to look for, like, for example, the first 10 indices in here and the last 10 indices in your data. And that's not okay, right? It's going to cost you a lot of programming time. So if you have negative index, then it would make your life easier, right? So originally you need to work on these kind of indices, and now you can use these, right? 0, 1, and -1, -2. And then you can just plot them in the same graph very easily, right? So this is the reason to make your life easier. Okay, so now we have added one more number in here, the third number inside a bracket. So from 1 to 6, and the step would be equal to 2. Okay, or the stride, I think it's called stride, or the step or interval equals to 2. So which means that you are skipping 1. So you are looking for the number, every other number in your list. Okay, from 1 to 6, you know that 7 is not included, right? So if you skip, you're skipping like this, 1, 3, 5, 7, because 7 is not included. So if you use the slice notation looking like this, 1 to 6, and then the step is 2, it will give you 1, 3, and 5 only. Okay, just 3 numbers only. So 26.1, 24.9, 27.5. Okay. And the length, so this is a function telling you the size of your list. Okay. So the size of a list here, because it becomes 3 right here. The answer for your first print function are 3 numbers. Okay, and the length of that would be 3. Okay, this is just like a summary. So if you have 3 numbers in your bracket, A, B, C, if A is omitted, then the default will be 0. If B is omitted, then it will be all the way to the last index. If C is omitted, if you don't have the third number here, you assume that it's equal to 1. Okay. So there are different examples in here. You can try that on your own. Okay. Okay, this is your homework. First exercise, fill in the indices of the index of each value. So AWS is automatic weather station. Okay, you have different names. It's pretty easy. Okay, it's non-coding exercise. Okay, so you need to indicate the index of each value using negative indexing. So again, it's pretty easy. So I'll leave that to you. With the reference to the table. Okay, you need to print these, right, on the screen. No? Please DSS. Okay. Okay, it's non-coding exercise. You need to write your answer. Okay. Do you need some time to work on them? I think I'll leave that to you because it's pretty easy. Okay. We have a lot to teach today. I'll rather go through all the materials first. Okay, so next question is, how do we modify the values? For example, if you have some scores here, these are your scores, 80, 90, 70, 75, 100. They are the scores stored in a list, which is called scores. Okay, so now you think that, okay, you have entered the wrong number. You want to modify one of them, just one of them. Okay, and you want to modify the second one. The second one, the index will be 1 because 0, 1. So you're modifying the second value in here. You change that to 90, right? So 95 is changed to 90 in here. Okay, and then next is more aggressive in here. You're not changing just one value. You're changing 2 and 3, right? 4 is not included. Remember that. Okay. So 2 and 3, the two values are changed to 75 and 80. I've highlighted for you here. So it's pretty easy. Just use equal sign to assign new values using the index. Okay. So next is another data type called tuple. So you can see that is with round brackets in here, right? So for example, we have some names for the planets here. So round brackets. So it's different from list because the elements cannot be reassigned. So which means that you cannot do what we have done in here. You cannot, you can try, but they will give you, your computer will give you an error message. You can use the equal sign to try to reassign that, but it will not work. Okay, so it's read-only data. We'll get to this later. It's an important computer science knowledge actually. So our data types that we have learned can be separated into two types: the immutable and mutable. Okay, so tuple, it belongs to the immutable, which cannot be reassigned, and list belongs to mutable, which means that it can be reassigned. Okay, so this table is comparing list and tuple. So for list, you use the square bracket, and for tuple, you use the round bracket, and they have the same indexing and same slice notation. The only thing that is different is that one of them is mutable, the other one is immutable, can be reassigned for tuple. We don't use it a lot actually, but I want to introduce that to you also. Okay. So the first one, height. We have some numbers for height. So my question to you is that, is this a list or tuple for height in here? It's already shown in the table, right? It's with the square bracket, so it's a list, right? Of a list of integer or a list of floats. There are no decimal places in here, so integer. Okay, and the second one is tuple because you use round bracket in here. So here I have some examples. Height number 5, index number 5, would result in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 142. Okay, and units 4 would result in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 mole. Okay, for the second one, which means that you can still use indexing for tuple for this type, which can be reassigned. You still can read it. Of course, you can read it, right? If you can't read it, then there's no use for you to have tuple. Okay. And the third one here, the third print function will result in error. Why? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's no 6th element in your units, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is missing. Okay, there's nothing in. It's reading nothing. Okay. And what about this one? Unit 0, and we are trying to reassign the tuple, which is not allowed. It will result in error. Okay. Okay, you will have to reassign a tuple. Yes, a tuple in the data in here. Okay. You want some time to work on them? Okay, I'll go on. Print the following outputs using slice notation. Okay, so you have, it's the same question, right? You have the station, the list for the station name, and then use slice notation to print out these 4. So the output of your print function, the output of your slice notation could be also a list. So you're producing another list when you do slice notation. I think it's negative indexing. Okay, it's the same, but with negative indexing. Okay. Any questions for the difference between list and tuple and slice notation? Okay, so next we talk about dictionary. So dictionary, of course, is a dictionary, right? If you, for example, here you have an example. We have like a, how do we call this, curly bracket. We have a curly bracket, and we have 3 elements in your example in here, dictionary. I have no idea what these are. This is coming from a game, right? I think. So there are 3 properties for this hero. The first property is called HP. The second property is called attack. And third one is defense. We know that for these 3 properties, you have some numbers, okay? Just like a person, you have height, you have weight, right? You have different things, your age, okay? You can put in the property's name, and then you can put a number next to each of the properties. Okay, so they are a pair of values. You can see that, okay? A string, you have to have double quote, remember that, okay? Double quote is a string storing the property name and then colon, and next to that would be the value of this property. Okay, so pretty easy, the index, the syntax here. Okay, so here we are trying to, I think this is coming from a game, right? Level up this hero character in here, the hero dictionary. We want to change the defense from 10 to 12. We want to level up, so we reassign this. So you can print the whole dictionary, this one, the first print, and the second print is to just print the properties, the number for this property, for the attack property, right? So you're printing just 20, and then you reassign the defense in here to 12. And if you print that again, you can see that the value of defense is changed to 12. Okay, which means that you can change it. This is mutable. Okay, this dictionary. You can reassign the values in dictionary. Okay, here is like a short summary comparing the 3 types of 3 data types that we have just introduced, right? List, tuple, and dictionary. And they have, so for list and tuple, they have the same indexing, but for dictionary, you don't need to care about the order, right? You just need to know the properties. Okay. So my question to you is that if the following 3 are list, dictionary, or tuple, of course, the first one is list, right? You have seen it many times. And the second one is station height. So for different weather stations in here, they might have different heights, right? This one, the second one is dictionary, right? And the last one is tuple. So you can judge different types coming from the shape of your brackets, right? Square bracket, round bracket, and curly bracket.